right, good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know, I'm Gary Christensen, Mayor of the City of Malden. Welcome to Malden City Hall. I know it must be strange for some of you not to see Greg Lucy by my side, but have no fear. The councilor is here off to my right. I do want to thank him. He's currently working on another task force report dealing with cleanliness in the Malden Public Schools. We are also joined by Peg Crow off to my left. I want to thank her for being here too, Ward 1 City Councilor. And then, of course, our esteemed principal of Malden High School, Dana Brown, is off to my right. I guess the news you've all been waiting for, fingers crossed, hopefully tomorrow will be mostly rain. That is the latest report we have before we get into why we're here. 1 to 2 inches on Wednesday. Further north will be 3 to 6. And then Thursday it's going to warm up and hopefully it'll be mainly rain. So you can tell I'm being accustomed to being mayor when all I talk about is snow. So that's the first bit of news. The other one is on a more serious note, the victim at the Sandwich Street fire. We do have an update that she is doing better. She's expected to recover. The Malden Fire Department has been on top of the situation. They're keeping us informed as to how the family's doing. And no firefighters were hurt in that incident. So we are staying in touch with everyone to make sure they are okay. Also, very shortly, I know Mr. Byrne from Boston.com is going to be asking any day now, because we just hit the 30-day mark on the transition report. So we're going to have a report card for you as to what items that we said would be ready after 30 days and where they all stand. Pleased to let you know that we have made significant progress on a lot of those issues from the 30-day timeline in the transition report. Just a couple of other notes. One is, last night, if you haven't heard, we are going to recommend to the City Council that we hire 4 police officers and 1 cadet. The plan will be filed today with the City Council, who will then deliberate on it during the month of March. And it's our hope, effective April 1st, we'll have 4 new officers in the police department and 1 new cadet. One of the caveats with this group coming in is 1 will be dedicated to the downtown. So that person will be patrolling Malden Square and around the T-Center during the hours of, say, 10 to 6, Monday through Friday. So we're excited to announce that. We cobbled together some monies this fiscal year. And then next fiscal year, people have already been asking me, how are you going to fund those positions without knowing what local aid is? And my answer back is, one of the things that we're going to try and do is look at going to a priority-based budget model. What are the priorities of the city? What are the priorities of the residents? And I can assure you that what I've heard over and over again is the need for additional police officers in Malden. So we're going to make it happen. And we'll keep you posted as we build the budget plan upcoming. Now, another thing that we have heard over and over, and I'm very pleased to hear this story for the past 12 months, is the need for a teen center. One of the things in all 4 corners of the city for the past 12 months, people of all ages have been asking us to look into the possibility of joining some of our sister cities and towns and having a teen center. And thanks to the effort of a person I'm about to bring up, we are closer than ever to making this a reality. I met Kathy McMullen about a year ago, and like many of our residents, one of her first questions is, we need to do more for our teens. And she didn't just say it, she meant it, because for the next year, she's had 14 teen nights. And I've attended a couple of them, and I can't say enough about the turnout and the enthusiasm from the teens that have gone to those events. So we're at the next step now that we have appropriated $1,500 today to help Kathy and her dedicated group of volunteers to get through the next several teen nights that are planned between now and May. But the expectation I have of Kathy, and I know she's going to meet it, is to figure out how we take the next step forward and create our very own teen center here in Malden. What I'm also excited about this task force is it'll be done in conjunction with the very important organizations that already exist here in Malden. That is the Malden YWCA, the Malden YMCA, and the Partnership for Community Schools. So with that being said, what Kathy is going to do is pull together a task force, and we expect her report and recommendations to be filed within 45 days. So if there aren't any other questions, let me bring Kathy McMullen up to say a few words, and then we'll get to your answers and questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Pleasure.
He stole my joke about having Greg Lucy come up here because I was hoping Greg could do this for me, because some of you who know me know how nervous I get doing this. But a little history. 10 months ago, a group of citizens, along with the YW, the YM, and the Partnership for Community School, got together and started a teen night. With the help of the YMCA and the use of their gym, we have been able to host a variety of activities. Our last teen night had over 200 teens, and the numbers continue to grow. Thank you, Mr. Brown. There is a need in Malden for a safe and healthy place for teens to go after school in the early evenings. The teen population in Malden is growing. At Malden High alone, we have over 1,900 students. A teen center would be a great investment in our youth and in Malden's future. The Mayor's Task Force addressing this issue will be visiting teen centers in our surrounding areas: Somerville, Everett, Medford, and Cambridge. Our goal is to meet bi-weekly, and in 44, I keep saying 44 days, it's 45 days, to report back to the Mayor our findings. Thank you.
Okay, with that being said, any questions and answers? I also would like to call Beth Rosa from the Malden Redevelopment Authority up. She has already been appointed by Kathy to be one of the members of this task force, and I think Kathy's been very impressed with Beth's dedication on behalf of the authority with respect to our teen nights, so I'd like to call her up as well. So let's get to the questions and answers that you may have about this center. And so, Ron?
Jim Mitchell from the Malden Advocate. Are you looking to actually have a teen center in a totally different location, or just keep it at the same place you're having it now?
Yeah, I think that will all be flushed out in the recommendations, the report and the recommendations. But, you know, knowing Kathy, I think she's going to look at every possibility that we can explore to make this a reality. I don't know if you want to add anything, Kathy. No.
No, I'm right with you.
Okay.
And there's the possibility of grant money, maybe?
Yes.
That could go with this, too?
Yeah, and again, that'll be another, I think, feature of what Kathy and Beth do when pulling together this report and the recommendations, is to see what grant money might exist, what foundation money there might be. We get the sense from the business community that they're as interested as we are in this idea. So we think by formalizing what we're doing today, that might generate even more interest in whether or not we can pull this off.
Right. Thank you.
Matt Byrne from the Boston Globe, boston.com too. I was hoping to find out if you have any financial impact going forward, any idea of what a teen center built originally in the city, a new structure would cost, if that's something that you're interested in, and if you have a timeline for something like that.
Yeah, good question. It was about whether or not we have any financial numbers yet on what it would cost for the teen center. Again, I think that's another aspect that will come out of this report and recommendations. The one thing I can tell you is, back to this priority-based budgeting, it is going to be a priority of our administration to do everything we possibly can to make this center reality. You know, we have Councilor Lucy here and Councilor Crowe off to my left. I think their being here should be more evidence that the time has come, and we're going to do, again, what we can to make this a reality. I think the other thing that's really overwhelmed us is the interest of the teens themselves. I mean, we wouldn't be in this position if there wasn't, you know, a request or an interest by the teens to do something like this. And we have a couple right here in front of us that came purposely to make sure, you know about their interest in us coming up with our own teen center. I don't know, do you want to add anything to what we're saying? You like all right, fair enough. All right. That's so we'll see what the financials are, but the thing I don't want us to do is to, because of the times we're in, to become complacent and just wait the economic storm out. As I mentioned during the inaugural address, I think it's more important now than ever that we push forward and see what possibilities are out there to work together on an important topic like the one we're discussing today. Other questions?
Kevin Macula, Malden News. Two questions. One, the facilities you're going to look at in Somerville, Cambridge, and Medford, are those all boys and girls clubs? And two would be, as far as funding a facility, would you also be looking at hiring a staff member on the city budget to oversee and coordinate activities that would be held there?
Do you want to take that, Kathy, on the comparisons to other cities?
Well, to other cities, there are some of those some of those places are boys and girls clubs. And yes, we will be looking at them. To the answer, if the mayor is going to hire someone to put on the budget, I would say that we'd have to wait till our findings come back into play, and then hopefully we'll be able to tell what our needs really are.
Right. One of the things we are doing, Kevin, and I think you've seen it here today, we're trying to utilize just not people on the city payroll, but we're utilizing volunteers, and there are plenty out there. I mean, we have some dedicated ones right downstairs now that are welcoming people to City Hall. So I think that'll be a feature of a teen center, is utilizing not just people being paid, but also volunteers. And I think we talked about having guest speakers and really trying to make this something that the teens become well-rounded from. So we'd be looking at every possible venue aspect to make that a reality. Other questions? Any others? Going once? Yes.
John Pickering from Malden News. Could you describe a little bit, the need for the teen center and what would it offer specifically?
Again, that'll be borne out in the report and recommendations, but from a historical perspective, I've been out on the campaign trail for a year, and I can't tell you the number of times that a teen center came up during my discussions with residents around Malden. So one of the things that we did find in the limited research that we did is that the schools do a really good job before, during, and after. But there is a void that we're looking to fill between the hours of 4 and 8, 9 o'clock that I think would be one of the recommendations that'll be made by Kathy McMullen and her group. But, you're not really sure what to expect when you're out during a year-long campaign. I was pleasantly pleased to hear from all four corners of the city the interest expressed by the residents of, trying to take one step further in helping our teens, get the best experience they can here in Malden. Any other questions? I thought you'd find it amusing. One of the things that we've done since coming into office is to be more tech savvy, and to really be up to date on the latest and greatest in computers and technology. And I come to you today with my notes printed on an Uncle Gary Rules notepad. So, I was supposed to come in with an iPad and have a PowerPoint, and once again, don't forget about the pen and paper. So, all right, with that being said, we'll be around after to answer any questions that you may have. But otherwise, I want to thank Kathy McMullen, Beth Rosa, and I see Frank Molis here, Marie Brown, Marie Lucy, others that have been really playing a part to date in these teen nights. See, now what happens when I start that, I got to go around. I see Chris Murphy, Karen Hayes. I got to go around the well, make sure I get everyone. But that's another aspect about today I'm pleased with. we're not doing this in a vacuum. You know, we've had 14 teen nights already, and Kathy has the data. The numbers are there, the interest is there, and so this is the logical next step to see whether or not we can establish our very own teen center. So I want to thank Kathy and Beth for her efforts. This is really, you know, half the battle. You know, having people step up like Kathy and Beth to take this challenge on and to work with the city to make something like this a reality. So we'll circle back with you. We'll keep you posted on progress as it happens, but be prepared. Within 45 days, we'll let you know what the findings were and where we go from here. So thanks again, everybody, for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.